Top 10 outrageous things you'll only see in Italy. Simple breakfast. Italian breakfast habits just aren't a substitute for the decadent stateside brunches of eggs, bacon and pancakes. Is a cappuccino and cornetto really supposed to see you through until lunchtime? Directness. Come to think of it, it's not just food and clothing they're direct about. Whatever the topic, if an Italian disagrees with you on something, they're likely to let you know in no uncertain terms. Even when done with affection, it can catch newcomers off guard. Once you get used to the no-nonsense approach though, it's refreshing how people feel able to let their emotions show rather than resorting to fake politeness or passive aggressiveness in order to avoid a scene. Readjusting to niceties back home starts to feel frustrating once you've been here long enough. Criticizing your eating habits. Italy. The national passion for food and drink is one of the big draws of the country, and it can't be denied that they've got a lot to be proud of. But the rules surrounding food and drink are so strict and so numerous that it can be overwhelming for a newbie. Disregarding your personal space. Whether they're whacking you in the face with a particularly expressive hand gesture, or simply being touchy-feely and going in for a hug 2 minutes after meeting you, Italians aren't shy about getting up close and personal. Even in more formal business contexts, it's normal to touch people on the arm and shoulder, and if you've got small children, expect to be stopped regularly for strangers to fuss over them. No tipping culture. Particularly for Americans, the lack of a tipping culture can be confusing. When you want to show your appreciation for a delicious and good value meal, leaving a few extra coins can feel natural, but in Italy it's not necessary, and you've probably already paid for service in the coperto, or cover charge, if you're somewhere slightly upmarket. The bidet. This piece of plumbing is regarded by many foreigners with an air of suspicion, but it's present in almost every single Italian home. It's used for washing your genitals after going to the toilet, and is supposedly more hygienic than just using toilet paper, but if you're bewildered by the whole concept, don't worry, nobody's going to force you to use it. Persistent flirting. If you're female, expect to be on the receiving end of a few ciao bellas and to be addressed as bellissima or principessa, princess, when you're out and about. This might seem embarrassing to anyone from a more reserved country, but you don't need to read too much into it most of the time, they're simply being polite. Men and women can both expect potential partners to be more forward when it comes to dating, and when an Italian takes a shine to someone, they are unlikely to play it cool, and will often shower you with romantic gestures. If the feeling's mutual, great, but if not, it can be an uncomfortable situation. Even if you've explained you aren't interested or are in a relationship, you might have to be quite firm in order to get the point across. The driving. From Italian host families driving on the wrong side of the road to make an English guest feel at home, yes, it happens, to the persistent overuse of the horn and failure to acknowledge pedestrians, driving is perhaps the most stressful part of Italian life to adjust to and is not recommended for the faint-hearted. They talk with their hands. From 50 years old all the way down to 10, you can see Italians use the same 2 hand gestures at least a few times a day. Don't take a bath when you're sick. When you're feeling under the weather, chances are you want to take a nice hot bath to soothe your pain. According to Italian traditions, however, taking a bath when you're sick will only make you sicker, as will going outside with wet hair. Do you know of other weird Italian things? Share them in the comments section below.